Over 1,300 households, and those people are going to be getting a letter shortly that says their debt is forgiven, it's removed from their credit report, and no one can collect it on it anymore. One of the things I noticed over the years as we've helped different people both on our own and in conjunction with Sunnyside Ministry was a lot of the stories were triggered by medical debt. People that had been making it, paycheck to paycheck, had a hospitalization or something, didn't have insurance, or insurance is often very holy these days.
Oh, it's beautiful news actually coming out of a church here. The Trinity Moravian Church in North Carolina was taking many members' medical debt and burning it up because they took it in and they got rid of it. I mean, millions of dollars worth of medical debt. How does the church actually get a way to afford this? I mean, what kind of tithes and offerings are happening here? He must not be flying on a private jet with all that money. This is what's happening. It's called RIP Medical Debt. This is how it works. Let's watch this next video.
We are a charitable nonprofit institution that's mission is to end medical debt. We were founded by two former debt buyers who knew the debt industry and knew that you could buy debt for pennies on the dollar, which is why $1 relieves over $100 of medical debt. And we've gotten rid of over $7 billion of debt for over 4 million people to date.
Okay, so the question is, who's eligible?
We look for people that are 400% of poverty or below, or if the debt is 5% or more of the person's income.
We're going to spend $12 million. That's our initial investment.
$12 million over 3 years that they're using to get rid of roughly $1 billion of medical debt.
Insane, those numbers. Really fast, these graphics, as this is now being done. And anyone's seen any kind of debt they've gone into further, you'll see that these like consolidation things, I'm not necessarily consolidation, but ways to lower it. Just pay us this percentage of it. I think that's what they're working off of. Jackman told this local station that the Jubilee Project with RIP Medical Debt raised $15,000. And with that, they were able to go in and bid and buy over $3.2 million worth of medical debt in Davidson County. So when an individual fails to pay down an outstanding medical bill, you guys might know this, the medical company that is owed will often hire a debt collection agency. And then when that agency fails in its collection efforts, then that debt is sometimes sold to a third-party collection agencies for pennies on the dollar just to recoup that loss. And those third-party agencies have the legal right to either collect or forgive those debts. And if they feel like it, Jackson, they can go, whatever, we don't need this anymore. It's taking too long. You're not listening, and I'm sick of your voice, or whatever it is, reasons that they decide not to. So apparently this church took the reins in this particular aspect, and they're helping some members out. It's a beautiful story.
I had it on mute. But no, yeah, I was saying in terms of the numbers, that just goes to show how imaginary money really is, man. It's not real. I mean, it is, but no, it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, because the people who have all the levers can just, to think about, yeah, Biden, the student loan debt's caught up and stuff now, but he really could just be, just get rid of it. You know what I'm saying? Just in terms of this. And you see stuff like this, and it's like, why are people suffering for stuff that's not even real? But this really is an encouraging story. And stuff like this is, first and foremost, what churches should be doing with the tithes that they get. But anybody who participates in something like this is help that people need. These types of things hold people back in life greatly. People's dreams, people's hopes for themselves and for their children, for their loved ones, can go unmet, can go unpaid for, unrealized because of some medical debt. So again, this is really good work right here. This is the type of work that we need more of. And again, very encouraging, very hopeful, very positive.
You know what the odd thing is? These medical bills that came from whatever entities, I assume those entities aren't out of business based off of the fact that this debt got sent and then sent and then sent again and eventually excused based off of this church and their work. So if they're able to get by however many years back in the past they did this, I don't know if those doctors or nurses or personnel that worked on these cases ever got paid to the degree. I feel like maybe they did. Also, the companies that were charging for this debt, whether or not they just went under because they didn't get their money from these particular folks. If you think about it that way, you'll realize that if we actually have a system that, again, whatever reasons why these folks still made their money, they still did. And people don't have to be under the thumb of this type of debt. And maybe there's this thing that we talk about in the country called an upward mobility. Opportunity, that's the other thing that we like to say. But instead, many of our systems are put in place to make sure that none of those things are realized. Just saying. It's what we're seeing in reality right in front of us versus what we could be seeing.